Guys, today I have for you my updated Backfire barbecue chicken setup with improved survivability and DPS, but most importantly with some little tweaks here and there. This setup will work in PvP as your main hazard protection setup, so you can use this in DZ or in conflict if somebody is using status effects. Trust me, this setup will work for new players and just like for seasoned players as well. We have tons of DPS with Backfire exotic SMG because we will gain free 200% additional crit damage. So as usual, if you love insanity, then welcome to my channel. Uncle Butcher in the building, covering Division 2 basically daily and other looter shooters and RPGs as well. So if you want to be updated with all the best PvP, PvE builds, hit that like and smash that sub. But now let's dive into this setup. I'm using Backfire exotic SMG. First of all, it looks badass. Second of all, it will give us 200% crit damage and we will not receive any punishment whatsoever because we are immune to all status effects in the game. And with some tweaks here and there, you can basically modify this build to fit your playstyle. I'm using Adrenaline Rush, but you can use, for example, Memento Backpack with Bleeding Resistance mod and have fun in DZ, for example. But before we continue, a quick word from the sponsor Diving.net. If you don't have enough time or good teammates, but you still want to have all the best items in your game, then Diving.net is set for you. Right now, they have some crazy sales for Incursion, exotic SMG Ouroboros, and with my promo code RBDIV0424 you will receive additional 25% discount. Crazy deal, and this discount will work on any item for any game. If you have any questions, don't hesitate, drop your comment down below in comment section or contact the operator. But now let's get back to this Backfire setup. And like I said, with some tweaks here and there, you can change the setup to fit your playstyle and you will not lose anything. If you need more DPS, you can use Coyote exotic mask again with bleed resistance mod, because you can use hazard protection attribute on Coyote mask. You can't reroll exotic gear pieces, so it is what it is. You need to use bleed resistance mod, but if you want more DPS, boom, use Coyote mask. If you want maybe armor regen, use Memento Backpack. Easy money. For specialization though, we will use Gunner. On kill we will receive increased rate of fire, which will help us to stack Backfire quicker, and of course armor on kill as well, which will help us a lot with survivability. Also don't forget foam grenades and medkit, which will give us bonus armor and benchy pulls. In terms of my numbers, I'm sitting pretty well at 45% crit chance, 100 plus crit damage and some 70% headshot damage. But like I said, Backfire will give us additional 200% crit damage, so we will reach 300 plus crit damage. And if you want more crit damage, you can replace Steelwork piece and use Sombra piece to gain additional 15% crit damage, or use Coyote mask and receive additional 25% crit damage in close range. So definitely you can get more DPS out of this setup, but for my liking, I love balance. I love balance between DPS and survivability, and that's the reason why I'm using Steelwork knee pads, which will give me additional 10% armor on kill. So I have 20% armor on kill. I have Adrenaline Rush, which will proc basically non-stop when we're gonna face tank enemies. I have Backfire with 200% crit damage. I'm using Tsunami Named Shotgun Orbit to increase my crit damage with Perfect Finisher and cap out crit chance. For the mask, I'm using Yal's Named Mask with health damage attribute, really handy against enemies in heroic missions or open world activities. For chest piece, I'm using Sokolov chest piece with SMG damage buff, and of course Intimidate. Intimidate will be procced really easily with Adrenaline Rush, and in close range we will deal shit ton of damage. And I mean, you should work with this setup in close range, because unfortunately Backfire has really nasty accuracy. It will spread your bullets quite a bit at distance. It will not be accurate whatsoever. Handling is meh. It could be better. So 10-15 meters is the perfect distance where you need to fight with this weapon. I'm using Cavalier 2 pieces to receive additional hazard protection. Everywhere you should roll weapon damage core attribute. Unfortunately, I couldn't find mask, Yal's mask with crit damage and hazard protection or crit damage as second tier attribute, so I am forced to use it with armor core attribute. It is what it is. But like I said, you can do some little tweaks. If you want to gain bonus armor, you can use memento backpack as well. It would work really well in open world, in heroic missions, on legendary strongholds or incursions. I would recommend you to stick with Adrenaline Rush. It's really new player friendly. It will proc instantly and you're gonna stack Intimidate and you're gonna gain the damage buff immediately. Bloodsucker will not work that well in this setup. You have to stack it before you can face tank something. So yeah, Bloodsucker is not a good option. You could use Memento and maybe Obliterate combo in this one. That would be nice to actually switch. In PvP, you have to only switch Backfire Exotic SMG and Intimidate maybe for Unbreakable or again Obliterate, and you can use this build in PvP. You will be immune against any status effect in the game. Use Ouroboros, use whatever weapon you want in this build. Bye. Or even Fenris, you can use Saint Elmo's and use Fenris chest piece. So yeah, this build can fit anybody or fill anybody needs. Bye.